Dr. Damacone, our OSU plant pathologist, is joining us today to break down diseases on plants. So really, I mean, we often find in our garden different diseases that come about. How do we prevent this, and what causes a disease to develop on our plants?
Well, when we teach plant pathology, which is the study of plant diseases, to students, one of the fundamental concepts that we try and teach is the disease triangle.
Okay.
And that's the interaction between the environment, the weather, the pathogen. The pathogen's got to be present, and that could be a fungus, a bacteria, a virus, a nematode, or a parasitic higher plant. I think I covered them all. So that's got to be there. You got to have the right environment. You also have to have a susceptible plant.
Okay.
So that those three factors coming together produce disease. And you can use that concept also to explain ways that you can manage diseases or reduce diseases by trying to manipulate one of those corners of the triangle. For example, if you plant a resistant variety, like a pepper plant that's resistant to bacterial spot, you've eliminated the susceptible plant part of it so you don't get disease.
Okay.
Another way you can do that is through crop rotation. So you're on newer ground, therefore the pathogen's not present. Let's say it's a nematode that's built up in the soil, giving you root knot on your tomatoes. If you move to new ground, obviously, the pathogen's not there. So even though you have a susceptible plant or the environment's favorable. And then the other thing we can do to manipulate the environment is do things like drip irrigate rather than sprinkler irrigate to keep the moisture levels lower on the foliage. Orient rows so they dry quicker. And then spread plants out so they get more aeration. Trellis up tomatoes to keep them off the ground, improves the airflow in the canopy.
And that contact with the soil, potentially.
Contact with the soil,
okay.
Right.
All right, so we've got three factors: the environment, the host, and the actual pathogen.
And one important component of that, when it comes to the pathogen, is sanitation.
Okay.
You know, we don't want to bring things into gardens that are diseased, because that's how we end up with problems. Now, it's oftentimes hard because, unfortunately, seed and plants are not certified disease-free. So, there's no infrastructure in place to do that. But we can select reputable seed sources, high-quality seed. If we're going to save our own seed, there's ways to sterilize seed to reduce pathogen carryover on seed. And
I know with sanitation, a lot of times you want to make sure you remove any disease material, especially at the end of the season if you haven't done it throughout the season, and not compost it. But is there a lot of pathogens over winter though in the garden, in the soil?
Yes, they do, and on the soil surfaces where they overwinter the best.
Okay.
So if you can get your rototiller out or your shovel out and turn it under, or remove things and form a compost pile maybe far away from the garden and get it to decompose.
Okay. So it is okay to compost some of those?
Oh yes,
okay.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
As long as it gets hot enough and...
But melons, for example, if you have overripe melons and you let those sit in the field, lots of pathogens will grow on that and increase on that decomposing melon.
Okay.
So if it's just laying on the soil surface there, it's readily available for the next year's crop. So I know people get burned out in their gardens at the end of the year. They just want to forget it. But that's a good time to clean things up as soon as possible. Get the rototiller out, plow things in. That helps a bunch.
So all those loose little cherry tomatoes that might get on the ground there that didn't get harvested, you want to clean those up.
Right.
Excellent.
Or plow them in.
Excellent. Well, it's good to know that we have a little control over the situation.
Yes, we do. And that's why we try and teach that disease triangle, because it can be manipulated.
Well, thanks for breaking that down for us.
No problem. Good to be here, Casey.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.